Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're taking a close look at 5 free agents who could elevate the Indiana Fever to contender status. With big moves on the horizon, Stephanie White is shaking up the WNBA landscape. And we've got the inside scoop on the players who could join the Fever. From playmaking to defensive toughness, let's explore the potential game changers that could redefine Indiana's future. But before further proceeding in video, please make sure to subscribe for more WNBA updates. We know it takes some of your time and we appreciate it.
In this video, I'm going to be looking at 5 free agents as of right now that I think could help this team and the type of players that they should be looking for in different roles. I do think you're going to probably have to look at overseas, a lot of stuff for overseas to find players that willing to go to Indiana.
Did you catch what just went down? Stephanie White has everyone in the WNBA talking with these 5 free agent rumors. Fans are going wild, and we've got the inside details on who could be joining the Fever.
No, certainly, we don't have to make leaps and bounds and go from wherever we are to the top, right? But we've got to continue to get better. We've got to make sure on the days that shots aren't falling that we're able to position ourselves to win ball games.
You won't believe who's sitting at number 3 on this list. This move could completely alter the future of Indiana. Are you ready to see how these acquisitions could instantly elevate the Fever to contender status? Let's dive in. First on Stephanie White's radar is Julie Vanloo. This playmaker might be the key to unlocking Indiana's offense, but there's a catch.
The only thing with her is that she is a restricted free agent, so you're going to have to outpay what Washington are going to pay. And it really just depends on what Washington get in the draft. Let's just say, like a hypothetical, Washington get Paige Beckers. They want to play Paige at point guard, and you're not going to overpay to have Julie Vanloo on the bench.
Did you hear that? Julie Vanloo is a restricted free agent with the Washington Mystics. They may decide to let her go if they draft a point guard like Paige Beckers. That's where Indiana could step in and seize the opportunity. Imagine Vanloo running the floor alongside Caitlin Clark. A combination could light up the scoreboard. Vanloo isn't just a shooter. She's got a high basketball IQ and knows how to set up her teammates for success. She understands when to take the shot and when to pass it. That's exactly the type of player the Fever need right now.
I think Julie Vanloo would be an unbelievably good bench player for the Indiana Fever, because you need because of how ball dominant Caitlin Clark is, you need a point guard who's going to be able to hit shots, be able to play off the ball.
You might be asking, don't they already have Erica Wheeler? Sure, but Vanloo would be a major upgrade.
So be a veteran presence, just a better version of what Erica Wheeler is. Like, Erica Wheeler over dribbles the ball, she takes too much out of it, she doesn't even look for Caitlin Clark, whereas Julie Vanloo is an actual set up to play point guard. She'll hit the open jump shot, she can play off the ball, and when she's running the point, she's going to actually find Caitlin Clark in the offense when Caitlin Clark's playing off the ball. She's going to allow Caitlin Clark to play off the ball, because that's the biggest problem, is that when Caitlin Clark's playing off the ball, she never gets the ball. So someone like a Julie Vanloo, you need a backup point guard. You can't rely on Caitlin Clark to play 40 minutes of point guard for the entire game.
Wheeler often over dribbles and sometimes forgets Clark is even on the court, which can hurt the Fever. Vanloo, however, would ensure that Clark gets the open looks she thrives on.
And Caitlin Clark is not a shooting guard, but this is the first time we've seen completely heliocentric offense in the WNBA from Caitlin Clark. But there are times, we've seen it with Luka, we saw it with LeBron at times in his career. There are times you need to get them off the ball, and I think someone like a Julie Vanloo could help, especially because I'm looking at other guards that I think could help in that role. You're not going to get a Kelsey Plum. You're not going to find you're not going to get, obviously, a Taurasi. Taurasi's not going to leave.
Now picture this. Vanloo brings the ball up, draws the defense, and dishes it out to Clark for an open 3. Or maybe she drives, the defense collapses, and Clark cuts to the basket for an easy layup. That's the kind of play Vanloo can create all day. But it's not just about Clark. Vanloo's versatility means she can play both on and off the ball, giving the Fever a whole new offensive dynamic. And here's the kicker, they might be able to snag her for just $100,000 a year, which is a bargain for a player who could revolutionize their offense overnight.
Especially if you're keeping Kelsey Mitchell, someone that you can get for probably around $100,000 a year, which again is Demiris Dantas money. So I think that she's really not a bad player to have, because I don't think it's going to be a crazy amount. I don't think they'll match. I think you could maybe force Washington into something that they don't want to do as far as money wise, but I'm not sure Washington will match it, especially if they do end up getting that number 1 pick and get someone like a Paige Beckers.
So, what do you think? Is Julie Vanloo the missing piece the Fever have been searching for? Can you imagine the havoc she and Clark could cause on opposing defenses? It's a move that would have Fever fans celebrating in the streets of Indianapolis. But hold on, Stephanie White isn't finished with master plan just yet. Now, brace yourselves because White's next move might just shake up the entire league. Have you heard of Sophie Cunningham? The WNBA's most notorious villain could be joining the Fever. Just think of the chaos she'd bring to Indiana's lineup.
This one is like a bit out of left field. People talking about this team needing an enforcer. This team needing, like, they are one of the most likable teams. But everyone's talking about they don't have an enforcer, they don't have a tough player, they don't have a villain.
Cunningham is no ordinary player. She's the type who makes opponents second guess even stepping on the court. A defensive powerhouse. She's in your face and won't back down. Phoenix might want to keep her, but Indiana could harness that intensity to their advantage.
This team looking to get to the playoffs for a third season in a row. Lackadaisical pass picked off by Brown. Sophie Cunningham, the pursuit. She picks up the personal foul. And Brown goes down in a heap. Let's hope everybody is okay as players are in the front row.
Now, you might be wondering, doesn't this clash with Caitlin Clark's persona? You're right, Clark is the golden girl of basketball, all finesse and charm, while Cunningham is the player every other team loves to hate. But that contrast could be just what the Fever need. Imagine Clark lighting up the scoreboard, and suddenly an opponent gets too physical. Who steps in to stop it? Sophie Cunningham. She'd be Clark's personal bodyguard, ensuring no one pushes her around or gets easy shots.
Obviously, Phoenix probably going to want to keep her. She's coming off the bench for Phoenix, but she is a starter level player. She's going to be a much better defensive player than Katie Lou. She's probably doesn't fit in with the squeaky clean image of Caitlin Clark, but you know what? If the team wants to bring to have an enforcer, Sophie Cunningham will be that.
Cunningham is just a tough player. She's got real game. We're talking starter-level skills that could transform both Indiana's offense and defense. Her aggressive style may ruffle some feathers, but it gets results. And isn't that what the Fever need right now?
Get there, and Sutton forcing that turnover.
Oh, nice step through, dropping the rookie. You go, Sophie, go!
And here comes Sophie and the Mercury.
Cunningham buries the three.
Ain't get it to fall. Cunningham the rebound in traffic. Cunningham from deep.
Adding Cunningham could change the entire identity of the team. Suddenly, the Fever wouldn't just be the team with the flashy rookie. They'd be the team no one wants to mess with. It's like adding fuel to a fire. Explosive results.
We've seen Erica Wheeler getting in people's faces, and that's her trying to do that. Like, you're not gonna no one's gonna mess with Caitlin Clark if Sophie Cunningham's on her team. That's a fact. No one's gonna mess with her if Sophie Cunningham's on the team.
You might be asking if bringing in such a tough player could cause locker room issues. But think about it. Teams that bring in enforcers often see their performance soar.
And she's gonna give you enough on the offensive end to be probably worth a starting spot. I don't hate this. I think for the good of the game, it's probably not a good decision, but if you're looking to just for the good of the team, I think Sophie Cunningham might be actually a good choice here, but again, I don't know how.
So, what do you think? Could Julie Vanloo and Sophie Cunningham be the missing pieces for the Fever? With their combined skills, the Indiana Fever could go from promising to powerhouse in no time. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you think Stephanie White should pursue other options. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.